Hi, welcome. It's time for a town hall and campaign update with me, Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki. Welcome. I am not in the USA at this time. I am in my art studio in Switzerland, just across the border from Germany, in a small town by the Rhine between Zurich and Basel. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in and stopping by and seeing what I'm doing. This was supposed to be the video from yesterday, the town hall and campaign update from yesterday, but I was on the road here and I could not get time to make the video yesterday. And plus I was jet lagged and all sorts of things. So it was just better to postpone it until now. And now here I am. Welcome. So what I can say is I'm deeply concerned. First, we need a ceasefire. Second, I don't know what Biden is doing, giving permission to the Ukraine to use the missiles he said that they could use. Is he trying to start World War III? You know, this all started because we were already giving things to the Ukraine, and according to the NATO peace treaties, we were not supposed to move into the Ukraine, NATO. But Biden keeps pushing it. And you know, folks, we also, when he took office, was when we got out of Afghanistan. And, you know, the U.S. doesn't need an enemy. This is just propaganda. This is just trying to find a new enemy, somebody who will be there so that we can keep our industrial military complex going. And this is unacceptable. Let's get a military peace process complex going. I'm sure there's a way to make money from peace. We just never have tried. And I know our country was based on European traditions of, you know, attacking each other. But again, we don't have to do that. We don't have to. Nobody's God is better than anybody else's God. Nobody's pope is better than anybody else's pope. And the sooner we realize that, the better off the world will be. And then we can all prosper and work together in peace for a better world for all of us. Now, I know a lot of you Christians out there want people to suffer. And, you know, you've got us into this mess. For sure, Biden is a Christian. He's pro-Israel. He's pro getting us into trouble. And he voted many times to send money to war to keep the industrial complex, the military industrial complex going. So we know what side he's on. And he's still in office until January 20th. So this is scary, folks, because this is not a joke. Putin is not joking. And Biden, I guess we need to impeach him because he is sending us straight down the path to war. And everybody is sleeping. I don't know what you people in the USA who are in charge, I mean, how can a Congress agree to this? I just don't get it. I mean, I know you're all Christians and you want Israel and you want Jesus to come back, but this is not the way. This is not the way. Innocent people are dying, and even more will be killed because of you. because of Biden and his irrational, suggesting to let the Ukraine shoot missiles further into Russia. This is not acceptable. Someone needs to stand up to these people. I mean, I'm doing it, but they're not listening to me. I'm going to keep going, and I hope I can stop it. But this is just crazy. Biden needs to be impeached. Trump needs to be sentenced. He's supposed to be sentenced tomorrow. I'm sure he's finagled his way out of it again. This is what hush money payoffs look like, folks. He's hushing his current sentencing judge. It's not acceptable. This is called corruption on many levels from all sides. The Democrats and Republicans are corrupt. They need to be removed from office. We are a country of the people, not of the Democrats and Republicans. But yet they've made laws to keep everybody else out, and they've stayed in power to enforce them that way. And this is not acceptable. I've had enough. I don't want World War III. I don't believe in Jesus. Jesus is not coming. God is not coming to save us. If anybody is going to save us, it's going to be ourselves, the people. So, this is crazy. It's not acceptable. I call for a ceasefire everywhere. I call for sitting down to the table together. So I am in Switzerland. If anybody wants to talk about peace, contact me here. Send me a message here on this message. Or, you know what, I'll put a message of peace on my Facebook stories page, or actually the story page that I have out. Just comment on that and I'll comment to you. Say, hey, I'm for peace. I'm running this country and it's time we bring peace. So, we're heading into the Christmas season where we think about Jesus. So why don't we start living like Jesus wanted us to, in peace? We got people who have manipulated the religion into something that doesn't resemble anything that Jesus talked about. And that's, again, shame on you, religious folks, for doing that. Shame on the Pope and other religious leaders for doing that. Jesus promoted peace. Peace between people, of all people. That's what I'm doing too, promoting peace. So, I call for a ceasefire, and let's sit down together. It's time to move out of the Ukraine. It's time to stop the Ukraine from going forward. They don't know what they're doing. They're a puppet, and this is not good. No World War III. No. We don't need it. We can do this together. We can find a way to be at peace together. But it starts with accepting each other just the way we are. There are differences, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It makes it life interesting, actually. So, someone keeps trying to write in front of my face. I find that really annoying, too. So, Bradley, I'm sorry. You're annoying. This is not the time or place for any of these stupid messages from men trying to say, like me, inbox me, you're beautiful. Please. I'm serious. I'm tired of the BS. You men are bringing us to war again. Shame on you. You're the problem. So, I'm just in shock. I've been a little busy, so I don't really know 100% what's going on. But as far as I know, Trump is supposed to be sentenced tomorrow and should be sentenced because we cannot have this lingering over. He needs to be properly sentenced, you know. I've met a lot of people who had done things or were accused of things, and sometimes they were rightfully incarcerated and sometimes they were wrongfully incarcerated. But a lot of them were like over sentenced for what they did. So, you know, since they're so good at over sentencing other people, I would like to see them over sentence Donald Trump for once, because he seems to be able to get out of everything. And his lawyers are working hard to get out of this. And he was supposed to be sentenced back in July 11th. And right before his assassination, they moved it. And then they moved it, and then they moved it again, I think. It might have been even moved one more time that I can't remember. But the point is, money talks. And money can manipulate all sorts of things. It's what we're seeing. And it's a shame on them. It's a shame on our judicial system. You know, Lady Liberty is standing there. She's standing there for liberty, for justice, for freedom. But she no longer represents that. She represents corruption. She represents, come here and be corrupt as much as you can. Take advantage and, abuse people. That's what she stands for nowadays. And it's really hard to watch. So, justice needs to be done. Trump needs to be sentenced. Guns need to be put down. And we need to go to the negotiating table. This is where I am. I'm a U.S. citizen also, and my vote wasn't counted. I was told I didn't qualify to be a voter in West Virginia. Why? I don't know. They made up some story why they would not count a U.S. citizen vote. I was born on a military base. You don't get more U.S. than that. My father fought and killed people for our country. You don't get more USA than that. West Virginia, you are corrupt. Secretary of State of West Virginia and the Election Division, you are corrupt. You need to be arrested. It's treason, what you did to me. And possibly other people. U.S. citizens' votes don't count, especially ones born on Air Force bases. And especially if your father fought in Vietnam and killed for your country, your vote doesn't count. Shame on you, Secretary of State of West Virginia. Shame on you, everyone who passed any laws to make this possible in the West Virginia government and in the U.S. government. Shame on you. Shame on all of you. Shame on the Republicans and the Democrats. You're fired. I'm firing you. You need to leave office. You're all treasonous, all of you. I'm tired. And I'm not done. I have not conceded, and I will not concede until I feel justice has been done. Shame on you. You have disgraced the USA to the fullest extent. We are a country of the people, not of the Democrats and Republicans. Shame on you. So, how I will go about getting these people out of office, fired, and hopefully locked up, I don't know. But I'm going to work on it. I'm not done by any means. It's treason what they've done. We've been taken over by the Christian right, the Christian nationals. They've turned us into missionaries for Jesus, and it's not acceptable. And now they've fully taken over. They're not even counting U.S. citizen votes. I mean, U.S. citizens out there who voted, who were registered, they probably didn't count your vote either, just to let you know. They probably manipulated it with those computers and turned it into whatever they wanted for themselves. There's a whole bunch of secrecy going on that we don't know about. And I'm very sorry for us. We think we vote, we think we matter. But we don't. And, you know, when I drove around the country to all the 48 states that I got to this year, I realized we're all saying the same thing. We're not being heard. And it's true. We're not being heard. We are not being heard. Our voice doesn't matter. They don't care. They're just doing whatever they want to do. But it's not acceptable. And I'm not going to let it continue. I'm going to do everything I can to stop the Democrats and Republicans from this unwanted takeover that they've done to our country. It's time to give it back to the people. Now, as you know, in my platform, what I want to do is I want to get rid of the Congress as we know it. We don't need a House of Representatives. We need to give that vote to the people. We are a well-established country. We got a lot of frivolous laws on the books that we don't need. And we need to go, we don't need to vote so much on everything anymore because we've already got a pretty developed country. And since it's clear that the states cannot handle the voting process, I think we have to change that part of the Constitution because they are out of order completely when they don't count U.S. citizen votes. So, the fact that they're also manipulating votes through the registering to vote process with the computers and everything else. I mean, the Democrats and Republicans just have no rights to do that. So we have to get rid of the Congress. We have to give the vote to you, the people, directly. What we do need still is like the senators. They will be answering directly to you, and they will they will fill out the laws, and then it will be sent to the people to be voted on. We need people with integrity. Our country was supposedly based on integrity. When we left England, that was the concept, or at least the concept that was told to me. You know, we were not willing to be bullied around anymore, but yet that's exactly what we're doing now. And yes, we always have to be vigilant against these bullies and these people who want to take over our country. But yeah, this is now, again, the fourth time the states have found a way to do evil with the election process. So it's clear that they don't know what they're doing. It's clear that they're into manipulation and that they don't care what you think. And this is not fair, because the start of our Constitution, of our country, it states, we the people. It doesn't state we the Democrats and the Republicans. It doesn't state we the men. It says we the people. So get used to that concept, folks. Big changes are coming. I'm not taking this BS, and neither should you. If you know your vote didn't get counted and you're a U.S. citizen, I highly recommend that you file a lawsuit against your Secretary of State who's in charge of your election and your election division. Now, I don't know if it has to be worded specially, because in my lawsuit, I clearly didn't do it, and they're probably going to try to do something about that to me. But the point is, in my first lawsuit, I was trying to sue the election division via the Secretary of State and stop the frivolous things that were going on and the manipulation and the fraud in the system, and start a new way of voting, which has less corruption, less fraud, less manipulation. We got to get rid of the computers and go back to pen and paper, and we got to do it that way. So anyway, we not only need to reduce the amount of Congress people, but we need to reduce the amount of people who are legislatures in their states too, because we're just all paying salaries for nothing. We just need 2 senators in the federal government, and each state needs like 2 representatives from each district. I'm going to say it should be a male and a female. So there should be 2 senators from each sort of state district. West Virginia has 2 right now. So there should be 4 people, 2 males and 2 females. And then we can go forward. Because right now we just got so much wasted money too, and we're spoiling these people who are choosing to abuse us, citizens. So why are we rewarding them? Why do we give them an apartment in Washington, D.C. and give them an expense account? Why? So they can abuse us more? I'm not into abuse. And I know what abuse looks like, and this is what abuse looks like. The Democrats and Republicans have abused you and me and your neighbor and our towns and our cities and our states long enough, and our country. It is time to get them out. I asked you to vote them out, but apparently they found a way to manipulate themselves back into office anyways. So we got so much troubles. It's just not acceptable. This is not what our forefathers wanted. This is not what past important people in our country wanted. And it's not what we want now. It is time to kick the Democrats and Republicans out of power. We've all had enough. And it's time to grow and heal and move forward together. So if you want to find out more about this lawsuit that I still have pending with the Supreme Court, you can read about it and find out more about me at my website, which is susan4usa.com. That's Susan, the number 4, USA.com. And, yeah. I don't know. Right now I'm in Switzerland, and I'd like to at least have a little bit of private time. And then I'll be back. Because it seems like a lot of people don't even realize that they're being abused. And I guess spread the news, let the people know that they are and that they don't have to take it. And so, yeah, we are not going to take it. No. And we want integrity back in Washington. We want our Statue of Liberty to have meaning again. To be standing for liberty and justice. For all. Not just a few. So, this is where I am. Supreme Court, you've got my lawsuit. Please come forward with it. It's time. We already know who the bad people are. You need to arrest them, and we need to move forward. All right. Thank you for stopping by. I wish you all a good day wherever you are. And if you can do something about the situation, please do something, whether it's a lawsuit or exposing more fraud or whatever the case may be. We need to stop. What you also can do is, a lot of the Secretary of States on their election website area, they say, oh, if you know about fraud, tell us about it. That's like, a wolf telling a sheep, where are your friends sleeping tonight? And the sheep says, oh, we're going to be over here at the barn. Just don't do it. Don't tell your Secretary of State. What you need to do is tell the FBI. If it's within the United States, tell the FBI. If it's outside of the United States, tell the CIA. And I'm going to say bypass that Secretary of State because they're not on your side. Especially if they're not counting U.S. citizen votes. I walked in there with my passport. You can't prove more citizenship than that. And they didn't even look at it. Talk about, they preach a lot about, we need voter ID. They barely looked. And now I can't even find a record that they even looked at my ballot. Not even looked at it. They just threw all I'm going to say most likely they threw all the provisional ballots out. Or they didn't throw them out, they just didn't count them. So I don't think I'm alone, and it's not acceptable. Especially if foreign people can vote, but U.S. citizens not, there's something terribly wrong in our country. So report it to the FBI. They have a tips page. It's very nice. You can go under corruption or you can go under election fraud, and you can write all your information there, because going through the Secretary of State's, it's not working. It's just teaching them different ways to abuse the system. So stop teaching your Secretary of State how to do that, and your election division how to do that. I mean, the Secretary of State and election division are working. They're in charge. He's in charge. She's in charge. Whoever they are, they're in charge of the election. So I always put them together. It doesn't matter who's in that position. They're all in a club together, and they all plan the things together. So they're not acting alone whatsoever. They're in it together. They know exactly what they're doing. And we, the U.S. citizens, are not part of their plan. We're actually in their way. So by telling the FBI or the CIA, we can help get even more in their way and stop the fraud, the corruption, and the treason. So there, I feel better. Putin, I am also upset with what Biden is doing. We need to sit down to a table and have a peace talk. There is a path to peace. We don't have to be at war. It's a waste of time. There's nothing more stupid than war. Nothing more destructive and abusive than war. I know I'm not a man, and you might say I don't understand war, but I was raised in war. I grew up in war. I know exactly what it's about. And it's time to stop. There's room enough on the planet for everybody. We don't have so many people to spare, and there's nothing wrong with having humans on the planet of all races, all colors, all beliefs, all genders. It's all okay. It's part of nature. What we need to do is put down our weapons and start talking and write up a proposal and sign it and live in peace. And in a peace where we can work together as a team. Team USA, or sorry, Team Earth is actually what I wanted to say. Team Earth. Where we have different continents, and a leader from each continent can get together. I think having one head of like the UN is not working. We need a team. We need a team of leaders from each continent working together to promote our planet and to bring us unity in our diversity. I do also want to be a Team USA. That is for sure. That is my role. But I'm also Team World, Team Planet. And we need to take care of our planet and the people on it. So this is, folks, where we are. It's not acceptable what Biden has done, bringing us closer to World War III. And I just want people to put down their weapons all over the planet, and let's all start negotiating. And in the U.S., I want citizens to put down their weapons and start thinking and planning and organizing a peaceful way of moving forward. We are going to find peace, and we are going to find it soon, and we are going to find it in our lifetime. Because I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on the USA, and I'm not giving up on world peace. That's why I ran for president in the first place. That's why I'm making this video now. I'm still working on peace. It's time. And with that, I think I'm kind of done. I don't really have more to say. So let's see what this week brings. I'm going to do what I can from here. I'm in Switzerland. Anyway, if you want to find out more about me on my website, it's Susan4USA.com. And that's it for now. So I wish you a good rest of your day. And I know you're going to be traveling for Thanksgiving in the U.S., so be careful. You know, some places might have some snow or ice, so, you know, use caution. Make sure you have water with you and an extra blanket or two, and make sure your gas tank is always half full so that you can make it through the night if you have to, or you can make it to the next gas station, you know. But enjoy too. Enjoy your family time. Okay. Thank you for watching. So I guess Wednesday I'll be putting out another one that's already tomorrow. No, in 2 days. All right. So yeah, so I'll see you Wednesday morning at 9:30 in the morning. And then we'll go back to the Sunday schedule because I won't be doing so much traveling, so I can do that too. And if something emergency-wise comes up, I'll be making a special announcement. And because Thanksgiving's coming up, I'll put out some sort of Thanksgiving greeting because it's one of my favorite holidays. Giving thanks. And I thank you all for being there, for supporting me, for voting for me. Thank you very much. And thanks for listening today. And I wish you all a nice day, wherever you are. Drive safe, like I said. And greetings to your family members from me and to you also. All right. Bye for now.